Hey y'all, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? Happy Friday. I'm just laughing to myself. I'm just thinking about something that is funny. Hey Angie. Hey Wanda. Hey Sandra. Hey Dina. Hey, how you doing? Hey Queen. Hey, I heard that too. So how y'all doing? Happy beautiful, happy beautiful blessed Friday. Mm-hmm. Here, darling. So y'all, hey everybody. Can y'all get the lights up? Hey Janice, how you doing? Hey, beautiful. Y'all, I want to say thank you to I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to Brittany and thank you to Monique. Thank you to all the people. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you to all the people that send me cash out. And y'all, let me say that if y'all ever send me cash out, can y'all please let me know because I look on my in my DM and somebody sent me cash app, and I was like, "Well, when this took place, I don't know when it was, but I see the date and stuff like that. But to be honest, I don't know where the money went. I don't know if I spent the money or whatever. But you know, I'm not really good with certain things when they come down to cash app and all that. I know how to receive money, but at the end of the day, I probably saw it and didn't know it was from y'all. So ever again in life, if y'all ever decide y'all send me $5, $2, or whatever, let me know on that particular day and say, Miss Ann, I sent you two, three, four, $5 or whatever. Because sometimes I don't know, like people then hack my credit cards and hack my debit cards and stuff like that. And I had to order me a new card and stuff like that. So I appreciate y'all, the ones that send me cash app or whatever. But I'm still trying to get to the bottom of it because I'm trying to see where it went, because I didn't. Somebody sent me a DM saying, "Hey, sister girl." Somebody sent me a DM saying, "And I sent you a cash app for your birthday," and they sent it on Monday, and today is Friday, and I'm trying to get to the bottom of that. And somebody else sent me something on Wednesday, and I'm trying to get to the bottom of that. That's $45 that I'm trying to figure out where is the $45 because if people say they sent me money, they ain't got no reason to lie. And I see that they sent it because I pressed the heart and and thank them for sending it to me. Um, but anyway, y'all, the topic for the day is who do y'all think have the most power on certain situations between the black and the white? That's the topic for today. That's what we're gonna be talking about today. We're gonna be talking about who do you think have the most power when it comes down to certain situations. The reason why I decided to talk about who do I think have more power when it comes down to black or white, I think, and I'm just being honest, Cash App have a lawsuit going on for taking people money. Yeah, I saw that too. So y'all, the people that I think have more power when it come down to certain things in life. Hey, how you doing, Queen? I think in like for us with the system, like when it come down to power, I think I think white people have more power. I do believe, and the reason why I think white people have more power because black have more spending power. Oh wow, yeah. I think white people have more power than us because I think I don't want to say the wrong thing because I don't want nobody coming for me or whatever. But this is why I think white people have more power is that okay, I got a Mercedes, right? And that's I like luxury cars and stuff like that. And I ain't, like somebody say, oh, some people live above their means or whatever I want in life, I'ma get it. Let's say that. If they can have it, I feel like I can have it too. Right. So don't try to come for me about me having a Mercedes because I do. That's what I wanted and that's what I got, right? We are consumers, all right, Paul. So listen, all right. I've been having my Cora come September. They had a power. Sandra, what you say? I stole everything to have that power. So listen, we are consumed, not owners, and the system of what we control. All right. So, all right, my core. I had my core going on a year now, right? So my car do a lot. My car do everything, right? Not it do everything. It don't fly. We gonna say that. So it don't do everything. But my car do a lot. A luxury car, you get a lot out of it. We get features in luxury cars that we don't even use, right? We paying for this, we paying for that, we paying for all this. Thank you. We paying for all that. But at the end of the day, right, my car had been to the dealership, which is the Mercedes dealership on Veteran, at least 4 times since I had it. And I have complained it at least 5 or 6 times since I had it, right? The problem with my car is that even though you have your keys, right? I have my keys, they changed the batteries and my key fobs and all that. It's not the batteries, right? So if I'm outside my car, which this happened to me the other day, again, I'm outside my car, right? I done brought my car to the dealership multiple times for the same thing, right? So it was raining. So I'm rolling to my car. While I'm rolling to my car, the keys is on my lap and the door. When you grab the door, the car is supposed to automatically, when you grab it, it unlocks the car. So I'm grabbing and it's raining. I'm trying to hurry up and get in the car, but the car door is not opening. Now, mind you, I have the key in my purse or or I put the key in my lap sometime to make sure that I can identify to let them know it's not me. Because if the key is hiding and the sensor can't identify the car at this time, so I make sure I dot my I's and cross my T's. So I'm pulling on the door. The door don't want to unlock, right? This has been going on since I had the car, right? I called the corporate office several times. So the man said that either they was gonna try to do a buyback, um, he was gonna get back with me in 4 weeks. So I'm trying to understand. This been going on since I had the car. You know, my mileage is still low and all that kind of stuff. I ain't really went nowhere, but probably I think I went to Texas in my car one time. I think yes, I did went to Texas, but I still only have 30 some thousand miles on my car, right? So the reason why I say white people have more power is because now I go to the dealership, right? It's a lot of black, employees or black salesmen that work there, whatever. But at the end of the day, they don't have power, right? So I tell my salesperson, I said, it happened to him several times. I told him to do it. He said they said they're not gonna do nothing about it. So then they say, which is the Mercedes dealership, they're not gonna do nothing about it because when the call come to them, it don't happen to them. That's what they say. They say long as they have the car. Now, mind you, the car does it sometime, and sometime it don't do it. And maybe the time when they do have it, it don't do it. But it does it to me, and I record it. All right. So maybe it's a sensor that's going out on the car that don't do it when they have it, right? So I talked to the corporate office, which is Mercedes. I talked to the man. He was like, well, what you want me to do? I said, he said, well, I can send you back to the dealership on Veteran. I said, how you going to send me back to the dealership that my car been to at least 4 to 5 times and nothing wasn't done about it? Right? So they got a dealership. Hey, Tony, they got a dealership in Mandeville, right? They told me if I brought my car to them, they'll charge me $250 just to do a diagnosis and tell me what the problem is. So if I got an extended warranty and I got a new car that I bought from Mercedes, hey Sharon, that I bought from Mercedes, why is it that I have to pay for a diagnosis diagnosed if my car is still under warranty. So it's the white man, yeah, I'm gonna say that's over Mercedes, the corporate that I talked to several times. Me and him had a disagreement on the phone because he's trying to overtalk me, and I'm telling him, and he said, "Well, you was denied for a buyback." So now let's get this straight. I was denied for y'all to buy back a car that have a defect in it, because quite naturally it's a defect. And then he said, "Well, I'm gonna call you back within 4 weeks and let you know. I'm gonna do it again and see if we can buy the car back." So he haven't got back with me in this past the 4 weeks, right? So I'm saying, let me let y'all in on some stuff that we deal with, right? When you don't have a verse, hey my baby, when you don't have a verse and you don't have nobody to stand up for you, if you don't have nobody to stand up for you, they feel like they can handle you any kind of way. They can. Now I got wet because of the car malfunction, right? And at the end of the day, so I still have a car. I still have a car that I pay for. I got a car that I pay insurance for every month. And you mean to tell me I haven't had this car a whole entire year? To Aaron Takes in Covington and diagnose the tech. All right. So I haven't had this car a whole year. I feel like I shouldn't have to take my car nowhere else but to the dealership where I bought it from. And I ain't had it a whole year yet. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, so y'all, they make it inconvenient for me. And you mean to tell me, y'all gonna tell me y'all not gonna fix a car that I bought from y'all dealership, Mercedes on Veteran? So mind you, my sister had a Mercedes truck. She bought her Mercedes to the same dealership I went to. She paid to get her car fixed, right? She got her car fixed, and it wound up happening again to her. So she just got rid of her Mercedes at another dealership. When I'm not the only person that's having a problem with the dealership at Mercedes on Veterans. So you know what? I feel like all these people, and I do feel if I was a different race, they wouldn't handle me like they've been handling me. I just said that, Queen. I hate to feel like that, but I hate to say that if I was a different race, they wouldn't be handling me like that. Your daughter take it to the one in Covington. The one in Covington is the one that told me I have to give them, since the one in Covington found out that I brought my car. Hey my baby. Since the one in Covington, because they have it in the system and it's in the car. How many times you didn't brought your car to the dealership? They already have it in the system. All right. So you mean to tell me they saying in a minute the car telling me I need service B on my car? Service B is the oil change, whatever else they got going on for service B. They want you to pay them $1,000 to do service B, right? So why would I let y'all do service B to my car when y'all don't want to fix my car the way that it should be fixed? I'm just saying. So I feel like it's discrimination against me. I didn't have my car not even a year yet, and you mean to tell me I go to the dealership and they looking at me like I committed a crime, like here she come again? Do I want to keep bringing a car? Don't get me wrong, I love my car. I love my car when I got it. Did I make the right decision on getting a car? No, I should have got me another utility vehicle. That's how I feel, because I like to shop too much. And I like, when I go to the stores, I like to have room. But nor here nor there. But at the end of the day, I feel like I'm being discriminated against. And yeah, I do feel like white people got black people. Yes, I do. Because at the end of the day, all right, we're going to talk about the little guy Nola that was found unalive in Mississippi when he went on a boating trip with all these little white kids, right? So at the end of the day, I feel in so many ways it's a distraction for us to still not think about what happened to the other young man in Texas. So we ain't gonna forget what happened in Texas. And it's, oh wow. We ain't gonna forget. I forgot to put my phone on do not disturb. We ain't gonna forget what happened to this young man in Texas. So we don't want to get not be still focused on what happened in Texas. And now I feel like they're trying to distract us from what happened in Texas. And now the media, but when it's gonna stop and how it's gonna stop. Because I use Kendrick and Metairie, sure, really good and service technique maybe. All right. I feel like when it's gonna stop. When is it's gonna stop between, no matter what way we look at it, no matter what people say, at the end of the day, white people is in power. Because at the end of the day, everybody ramping and raving, everybody talking about what's going on, but ain't nothing being done about none of these things. Ain't no way in the world this guy still should be in jail in Texas. All these flaws and all these things that everybody done found out. Why is taking so long for him to get up here and get up here buying and get out of jail? I'm just asking. Or is he out of jail? I'm just trying to find out why it's taking so long. Because to me, and y'all can say whatever y'all want. Right. Y'all can say whatever y'all want. It's us against us, and it's them against us. And I ain't lying, all white people is not racist. We got black people that's racist, and we got white people that's racist. We got people that's racist in all colors. But at the end of the day, if I have to say who got the power when it come down to a lot of things in the world, white people got the power. I'm just saying. But who got the most power to me is Jehovah. Because in a minute, a lot of stuff that they think they got, they think they rule the world, and they don't. Hey, Brandon. And they don't. But until we open our eyes and realize putting our children in unsafe places, right? We got to realize it's one thing when you want your children to raise up, in a good environment, good schools and all that kind of stuff there, and you want them to fit in and all this kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, you got to be very mindful. You got to be very mindful. Even with our football players and all our basketball players and all of them that make money and all that, do y'all not see the pattern that's been going on? Yeah, if your son is out there and he graduated from college and he played for the NFL or he played, these big old basketball, stars and all that, most likely they're going to send their daughters at your son. The majority of the black players with a lot of money, you can bet your bottom dollar, they got biracial children. Most people with money, they go and find them, somebody send their daughter at them and this and that, and they have biracial, kids and all that kind of stuff there. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I know some of y'all got the little mixed grandchildren, and they, they got some beautiful black grandchildren too, just like they got mixed black and mixed grandchildren and all that kind of stuff there. But y'all don't see the pattern that's going on because y'all too caught up into the negative stuff. Y'all too caught up into, well, I don't like her and I don't like him, and y'all disliking people because other people disliking other people. Can y'all get the likes up? We got 12 people in here, YouTube, but we got 6 likes. And here, I don't see no love. I be on here all the time. Man, why I got to ask y'all to show me some love? It's Friday. Can I get some love on any one of these platforms? Just let me know that y'all here. I know it's more than 7 people here that's going to show me some love, and it's 11 people. But at the end of the day, Why I gotta be acting like I'm begging y'all? Why y'all just can't show some love? Why I just can't see some heartbeat flying and all that? Why y'all can y'all just wake up and cheer up? Can y'all just wake up? That's all. Just wake up. Even if you don't like me, can you just wake up? You're on my platform. You in here for a reason. Can you just press the like button and show me some love? That's all I'm saying. Just show your girl some love. And I'm not howling. I'm just raising my voice. Just show me some love. That's all. Hey, I know how y'all operate on Instagram. So that's what y'all do. Y'all like to throw the rock and hide your hand. A lot of y'all on Instagram. That's what y'all do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not bothered by none of y'all, but can y'all show me a little love? Can you just show your girl some love? Just get the lights up and show some love, some hearts and all that kind of stuff there. Y'all on here for a reason. And I'm gonna deliver some messages and I'm gonna touch somebody's life on here today, whether y'all like me or not. Y'all like something about me, y'all over here. But we go through this every day. Can we just have one good day out of all the day? Can I just come on here and say, damn, everybody got the lights up. Everybody's showing some love. I love you too, Denise. Everybody's just showing some love. I don't like one thing. Let me tell you one thing I don't like. I don't like to beg nobody. I'm not a beggar. I don't even have to beg Jehovah because at the end of the day, all I do is pray and ask him and he give it to me. And all I got to do is ask him one time. We ask God for stuff more than one time because we don't have patience. All right, so we don't have patience. So we the ones that ask God for stuff more than one time. Yeah, the topic for the day is, who do y'all think have the most power? And I pass my opinion. I know you're always sharing Paula. You know, they know who they are. You know, like I know who they are, you know, but I ain't gonna let nobody stop me. You know, like I be coming on these platforms and they be saying let this many people on there and that. I'm not gonna worry about the numbers because the numbers lie. And they be having more people on here than I think. But eventually we're gonna be able to see all that. But I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm just gonna keep on delivering a message and not worry about the numbers. But it's more than right that y'all show me some love. It's more than right that y'all press the like button. I'm not begging y'all, but that's the right thing to do. If you're on here for a reason. Am I right? But anyway, for the people who wasn't on here, I want to say thank you to Brittany and thank you to Monique and thank you to Wendy. Thank you to everybody that sent me a cash out for my birthday. Thank y'all. I appreciate it. All right. So I'll come back to the topic, right? But that's the topic for the day. Who y'all think? Thank you, Paula. Have the most power. So listen, y'all. So, and y'all, I want to send a special thank out to Ben Crump. Ben Crump is on the case with the young man that's losing his life, that lost his life in Mississippi, in Al Sharpton. That's what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. And wait, y'all, did y'all see the lady going to jail who duct taped the dog mouth? Did y'all see that? Did y'all see the lady? I guess the dog was too busy going. I guess the lady got tired of the damn dog barking and she duct taped his goddamn mouth. Lord, forgive me, Jesus. But she duct taped his goddamn mouth. Now y'all know damn well some of y'all dogs need to shut up. Some of y'all got dogs that be barking entirely too loud. Too loud. So the lady, they bring her to jail. I guess she's gonna be charged with duct taping the dog mouth and cruelty to the animal. Some human beings' mouth need to be duct tape because they be saying all the wrong shit at the wrong time. How about that? But the word do say, speak boldly as you ought to speak. But she went to jail because the dog kept on barking and she duct taped his goddamn mouth. And they brought her to jail. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, she'll be all right. She'll get out. Mm-hmm. And the people in the comments were saying they should duct tape her mouth and do her the same way she did the dog. Oh, really? Y'all got to stop. Y'all got to stop. And then let me tell you how low down our people is. All right, the young man that was, found unalive in Mississippi, right? His parents did an interview. Patience to have an animal. Yeah, you need patience because that's like taking care of a child. And some of the money y'all be spending on animals, y'all probably wouldn't even spend on a child. Because them dogs be having cancer and all that and blind, cripple. I saw one dog with a wheelchair. So them dogs, I mean, y'all bring them to the doctor, y'all bring them to the hospital and all that kind of stuff. That y'all treat them dogs like that's your child. And some people do believe that that's their baby. So it is what it is. And don't mess with it. Don't if you don't messing with somebody animal is like messing with their child. So leave people and their child alone. But yo, so the young man who was on the live in Mississippi, all right, his mama, his mother, and his father, they did an interview today, right? I don't think it was today, but they did an interview, right? If y'all could read the comments, the people were saying stuff like, I wouldn't be doing no interview if I just had lost my son, and I wouldn't be doing this, and I wouldn't, y'all, I ain't gonna lie, people is so cruel. People is so cruel. That's why I'm telling y'all. You're damn if you do, and you're damn if you don't. To survive in this world before you leave this world is not to worry about how other people feel about you. Somebody on here right now worrying about how somebody else feel about you. No matter how you feel about you, they gonna feel about you how they feel about you anyway. Let me say it again for the people in the back and the pickaboos. No matter how you feel about you, they gonna feel about you how they feel about you anyway. Ocean Spring. That's Ocean Spring. Mm-hmm. Y'all get it? So the best way to survive in this life, Wendy, is not to give a damn about how somebody else feel about you. How about that? How about that? Because at this point in my life, at this time in my life, I don't give a damn what nobody say and how nobody feel about me when it comes out of them feeling some type of way negative. I don't care about that. Y'all could talk about me till Truvember. And y'all know we don't have a Truvember. Y'all could talk about me until y'all turn blue. I don't care. About that. Yeah, Paula, you got to be unbothered. When you put some shit on and you go outside, I don't care if you got on red, white, and blue, orange, yellow, purple. If that's how you feel like, or that's what you feel like putting on today, oh well. See, people don't validate me. All that matters is what makes me happy. Y'all got to stop being bothered and worried about how people on the outside feel about you. Because they're going to talk about you, whether you do good, whether you do bad, you still going to be talked about. So why should you give a damn? You're damn if you do, you're damn if you don't. So why should you take all your energy into worrying about other people? Worry about them for what? Why I'm gonna worry about you when at the end of the day, the last time I recall, you ain't pay my light bill. The last time I recall, I pay my bills. So why should I stress myself out worrying about what she say, he say, they say, and they're gonna continue to say, why should you stress yourself out by worrying about somebody else that's out of your control? Girl, I don't give a damn. All that matters how Jehovah feel about me when I leave this earth and while I'm on this earth. So if you won't go outside with a diaper on and that makes you happy, just go outside with a diaper on. It makes you happy. That's all that matters. Better yet, give them something to talk about. Because if they're talking about you, quite naturally, you must be something to talk about. Yeah. So being talked about is being thought about. So let them talk about you, because that means they've been thinking about you. And each and every one of us on here is being talked about. So that means somebody been thinking about us. Oh, God, I just was talking about you. Oh, I just thought about you. No, that's my first Gatorade. This the one that the wheelchair has stole. I ain't drink it all. They say Gatorade is good for you. What's the topic for the day? The topic for the day is, who do you think have the most power, the black or the white? And I think white people have more power than black people in a lot of ways. I said that because it shows. Because if this happened in Texas with this young man in jail, and this happened in Mississippi, and this young man was unalive, why it takes so long for them to do investigations, and why it takes so long for them to do a appeal so this guy could be out on the streets? Why it takes so long? That's letting y'all know who in power. That's the topic for today. So y'all listen. And be calm, be calm, be calm. Right. I'm not even playing with them on Instagram. Y'all could be hiding behind whatever y'all want to hide behind. I ain't paying y'all no mind. But some of y'all, because I know y'all on here. I know it's more than one person on here. Quit playing. Y'all can't help yourself. But anyway, y'all listen. So I was talking to somebody today, right? So listen. So yesterday, the topic we was talking about, step sisters and brothers, right? And we was talking about, the step sisters and brothers on yesterday, right? So today, let me bring this to your attention. So if, I ain't gonna say if, I know somebody, they're married, right? And the person they married, right, have a son, right? And all right, these two people married, she got a daughter and she got a son, right? So her daughter married her stepson. So somebody said that something wrong with that, right? So I was thinking, all right, so, okay, I got a sister by my daddy. Yeah, I look like my daddy. I got a sister and brothers by my daddy. Now my sister, she had brothers and sisters, right? By her mama, right? So I made a scenario, right? So her brother is not my brother, right? Her sister is not my sister, right? So the lady who married the man have a son. Her daughter got with the man's son and they married. And somebody said, all right, we already know it's awkward, right? So if that's all right, so they stepsisters and brothers by marriage, not by blood, right? So if your daddy was married to a woman, right? And that woman have a son, and you wind up meeting the son, and you and the son wind up going together, or y'all wind up getting married or having a relationship, somebody would say it's weird. So how y'all feel about that? So they are not related. Their dad and their mama are not that's not their real daddy. All right. And their mama just was married to this man, and the daughter wind up marrying the man's son, that was married to his mom. Y'all get it? So I said, all right, they got a lot of people feel like, oh, you slept with your stepbrother. But if the couple is no longer married and no longer together anymore, that's really not their stepbrother. But by marriage, people say, oh, you slept with your stepbrother as long as they are not blood. That part right there, Sharon. That part right there. That part right there. So if you wind up meeting your stepbrother, I ain't gonna say meeting. All right. If this man or this woman, if your daddy wife had a daughter, right? And all right, say like you married your daddy wife's daughter, and your dad is no longer married to this lady, somebody would say it's weird. But it's weird to y'all, but them people is really not related. Wait, you said that's not cool. You still brother and sisters in God eyes. All right, in God eyes, you still brothers and sisters, but you not blood related. So who make the rules? Who make the rules? Because all right, you stepsisters and brothers by marriage by a piece of paper, right? But legally, y'all not blood related. Somebody will say, well, we not blood related, but my daddy or my mama is no longer with this other person. So basically, what you're saying, all right, because we can have agrees and disagree. Basically, what you're saying is that if I used to mess with your daddy, right? Say I used to mess with your daddy, and I don't mess with your daddy no more, and my daughter mess with your daddy's son. Right. And if my daughter, all right, say I used to mess with your daddy, and me and your daddy don't mess around anymore, and your daddy got a son, your daddy's son and my daughter wind up dating. I know some people have a problem with that, but in reality, they really not kin. In reality, they really not blood related. And I understand that, I'm just saying, who make the rules? Who make the rules to say that, oh well, I used to be married to your mama, and now my son is married to your daughter. Come on, y'all, help me out. Who make the rules? Because, all right, if they are not blood related, but somebody saying, I mean, not somebody, yeah, somebody said, and God eyes, but they're not related. They're not sisters and brothers. They're not, but let me tell y'all something. Let's say this. Do y'all not know that this was going on in the world? Do you not know that? Let me tell you something about me. I got a problem with one of my cousins or my sister or my brother. I ain't gonna say my brother, my sister. I got a problem if my cousin, if you my cousin and you mess with a dude that I didn't mess with, I got a problem with that. I got a problem with that. Right, Denise? So, all right, listen to it. I think that if you have a cousin or you have a sister, I don't care if you second cousin, third cousin, fourth cousin. I don't think that they say second and third and fourth cousin, but if you my blood, I don't think you should mess with nobody that I mess with. Right. I think that if just because we ain't close cousins, like somebody say, oh, we close knit cousins. I don't care if you my cousin. If you my cousin, I still feel like you should mess with. All right, let me say this. Everybody that we call our cousins is not our cousins. Let's get that out there. We be calling people our cousins. It's really not our cousins. So if you and I are we blood cousins, but you cousins to my cousin, but in reality, you really not my cousin. I done had females to mess with dudes that I mess with because they felt like, well, she's really not my cousin. Now I got a problem with that. And somebody else don't have a problem with it. Hey, cousin. Somebody else don't have a problem with that. But when I look at it, I be like, well, she did that because we really ain't cousins anyway. Now somebody else, first of all, I don't like nobody smiling in my face and be my so-called cousin, friend, or whoever you is, and sleep with nobody that I didn't deal with. But some of y'all don't have a problem with that. But at the end of the day, so some of the people that we call our cousins, they're really not our cousins. And yes, they have slept with somebody that you slept with. Because they feel like, well, she's not my real cousin anyway. They got some people that consider you as cousins and they're not your cousin and respect you more than your blood relative cousins and sisters and brothers. Respect for yourself, right? So one thing about me, I don't want to be with nobody that I know without a shadow of doubt you done been with my sister and my cousins or anybody that's related to me. But if you not knowing, right? Like for instance, all right, my brother Warmer got a lot of children. It's no doubt. My brother Warmer, hey Nikki, got a lot of children. And I hope and pray that none of his children ever wind up in a relationship, because my brother got children that don't even know their mama haven't told them that my brother is their dad. Now, I know some children that's my brother's children, and I have met the females and I have identified their children because their children look like me and my brother. And my mama don't even know this. But at the end of the day, the other children don't know, all the children don't know all the children. Because if you grew up like that, it's the respect. You're right, Kendrick. So let me tell you something. They got certain people out there. My brother was sleeping with a lot of women, right? And some of these girls, they quiet girls. Some of these girls will never come out. And some people raise their children privately, where they don't want their children to really know their family, or they don't want nobody to know they were sleeping with this person at the same time or whatever. So yeah, we got a lot of children out here that's gonna wind up sleeping together and being together, and they're blood related. And you know who fault that is? The parents. Some parents don't want their kids to know, yeah, that's your brother, that's your sister, or whatever, because for whatever reason. But at the end of the day, that's where the blood mixing coming in. So if you mix in the same blood and your child wind up messing with their sister or their brother and not knowing that they was their sister or brother, and then now they got a child that came out with something totally wrong with them or something like that, now you got to look back and look in the mirror and fault yourself for not telling your child who their real blood is. And we got a lot of family members like that know that, like us, we got a big family. We got a family. We got a big family, all kind of ways, all kind of ways. We got some people in the family that's double cousins and double this and double that. But at the end of the day, they got people that if you don't tell your kids, right? If you don't tell your kids, it's possibility, no, I want my back up. When your daughter or your son meets somebody, or meet a child, a young adult or whatever, or when they start dating or whatever, not a child, when they start dating, when they meet somebody, the best thing you can do is do a background check on their family. Find out who their family is, find out who they're attached to, so your child won't wind up dating one of their cousins. Because no matter what way you look at it, you cannot mix the same bloodline together. If you do, it's a possibility somewhere down the line. It's a possibility that, like they say, two dogs, like the mother can't sleep with the daughter dog, or the girl dog or the boy dog can't sleep with the sisters and his brothers and all that. That's true. That's why they don't mate sisters and brothers together, because that's mixing up the same bloodline. Thank you, Denise. That's mixing up the same bloodline. So when I was talking about, the incident with the wife being married and her being married to the man and the man having a son, and her daughter wind up marrying her stepson, and they're not related. They're not blood related. So basically what y'all saying is, if this man and this woman they no longer together, they got a divorce, they separated, and this young lady met this young man and didn't know that that was her stepbrother. So what makes it bad if she never knew that was her stepbrother? Because y'all do know that they got people that got children that don't claim some of their children. Now that's totally different. But at the end of the day, so if you date somebody, all right, like, in other words, I was saying, let me use me again. All right. Let me use me again. All right. I got siblings on my daddy's side. I got sisters and brothers on my daddy's side. All right. My sisters and brothers, my sister, she got brothers and sisters. She got a brother and a sister. Right. But her brother and her sister is not my sister. Her brother is not my brother. Wait. That's why it's important to let your children know that each and other. Yeah, you're right, Kendra. So my sister brother and her sister is not my sister. So, which I'm not gonna do. What if my sister brother liked me and I liked him, even though he's not my brother? People say, well, damn, how you go with your sister brother? But that's not my brother. That's not my blood brother, or that's not my brother, period. We don't have no blood related. His sister is my sister and I'm her sister, but he not my brother. And people have a problem with that. But at the end of the day, the problem is where the problem come in at. But who make the rules? That's what I'm saying. Who make the rules? Because at the end of the day, her brother is not my brother. Her sister is not my sister. So, but I call him, yeah, her brother don't even call me his sister. Her sister don't call me. She might say, yeah, that's my sister. But her sister is her sister and not my sister. So if somebody say, who that is, that's your sister, that's my sister's sister. So somebody else, but what I'm saying to some of y'all is who make the rules? No relation. So who make the rules? And somebody else would say, well, damn. In their mind, they'll say, oh, that's nasty. How is it that nasty if they become in a relationship? If I became in a relationship with my sister brother, but that's not my brother. And I don't call him my brother. That's my sister brother. Even though I'm not going to do it, and I wouldn't do it. But who make the rules when it come down to, oh, well, you my brother, but you, so in other words, you're charge sharing, right? In other words, my brothers and sisters, my sister called my brother and sisters, by my mama, she might call them, that's her, oh, well, we was raised to call them our sisters and brothers. She doesn't hear her refuse to you as a sister, refer as you as a sister, right? So, but the way I was raised, like my sister, and our brother, that's like my brother and sister, because I'm sister of their sister. See what I'm saying? But some people might say, well, that's not my brother, that's not my sister. You know what I'm saying? Because I do have brothers and sisters too. I got brothers and sisters that who to say, my sister might say, oh, that's not my brother, that's not my brothers and sisters, that's her brother and sister. So who make the rules? Who make the rules, y'all? Who make the rules that say, oh, this, so I had to talk about this earlier today. Right? So listen, blood says it all. The closer bloodline, the higher your child will be born with a disability. Okay, Black Rose, okay. So, all right. In other words, let me say this. When I was pregnant with my daughter Jasmine, right? I was married to my children's daddy, my ex-husband, right? So he was with me the whole while I was pregnant with my daughter. So that was his stepdaughter, right? The whole while he was with me the whole 9 yards when I had her and all that. That was his stepdaughter. So now that he married and he no longer with me. So is my daughter still his stepdaughter? I just want y'all to answer that question for me. And then I'm going to tell y'all what somebody else said. That would be my sister saying toward my other sister. So, all right. Hey, Tanka. So, my daughter, all right, is my ex-husband, stepdaughter. He married me with my daughter, right? So, he divorced me, right? So, just because he divorced me, does that mean that my daughter's still not his stepdaughter? So when you divorce a woman or a man, is the kids still your stepchildren or not? I'm just saying. Some of y'all might feel like, well, I'm not with their daddy, I'm not with their mama, so no longer stepkids. So why are we just down to 2 people on here on YouTube? What's going on this Friday? So what y'all feel like, some of y'all feel like when you are no longer with this person or no longer married to this person, so if you not with this person, your kids are no longer your stepchildren, stepdaughters, if he still claim her as his stepdaughter, but in a relationship, he's not her father. I personally think they are still step parents, but other people don't. Right. So I feel like, so, all right. So if you was in this child life, right, as a stepfather, and now you then went on with your life, divorced her mama and married another woman, and now her children is your stepchildren. So what about the daughter that was your stepdaughter before you got married to another woman? Me, myself, I think that if you have a relationship with your stepchildren, even though you go on and marry somebody else, those stepchildren still remain as being your stepchildren. If he claim her, then he should still claim her. Right, that's what I said. They will still be my kids. That's what I'm talking about. But let's be real, y'all. Let's be real. Let's be real. Now they got a lot of women. Feel like, oh well, that's not your biological child by your ex-wife. You should cut ties. But what if that's all this child know as their stepdaddy? I don't get that. So other women want him, the man, to accept their children that's not his children, but don't want him to accept the children that was his stepchildren before your children became the stepchildren. Yeah, they are good stepfathers. And they got some stepfathers step up to the plate, more than the real father. But let me tell y'all this. Hey, Penny. Let me tell you this. Hey, Big Linda. Let me tell you this. Hey, Twin. Let me tell you this. Most of the time, in a situation like that, and any so-called woman should be ashamed of herself, and she should, and toward the children, right? So listen, 80% of the women don't want their husband to have a connection with their ex-stepchildren. Now, am I lying? 80% of the women do not want their husband having a relationship with their ex-stepchildren. And y'all know damn well I'm not lying. Y'all know y'all don't want the man to have a relationship with their stepchildren. The first thing y'all gonna say, that's not your biological child, and you shouldn't be having a relationship with your stepchildren. But you want him to have a relationship with yours that's not his, which is crazy. But they really be mad. Yes, they do, Twin. So you mean to tell me it's all right for him to accept your children that's not his as his stepchildren, but the son or the daughter that was there before you, his ex-stepchildren, but you don't want him to accept his ex-stepdaughter because of your selfish, evil, deceitful ways? 80% of the women are like that right now. They want a man to detach himself from his ex-children that he got love for, that he been around, that he raised like his own children. And y'all wrong for that shit. Y'all is so wrong for that shit. Y'all is wrong for that. But your children not his. You want him to accept your children as his stepchildren and be there for your children as his stepchildren. But what about the stepchildren he had before your stepchildren, before your children? A real woman wouldn't have a problem with that. Why not? Why should you want a man to cut ties with somebody, even though he not with his ex, but he have a relationship with her children? And a lot of y'all so insecure to the fact that y'all don't want this person to be interacting with children that's not theirs, but they raised them children as their own. And it's sad because a lot of y'all is messing up your marriage and your relationship for being selfish. How about that? You ain't got no children for the man, but you don't want him to deal with his ex-stepchildren, but your children is his stepchildren. Y'all got to make it make sense. But I understand y'all got evil, deceitful, jealous ways. But if a man accepted that child in his past and took care of that child, and some men don't even call their stepchildren, they call them their children. So if a man still have a relationship with their stepchildren, which is not their children, what is the problem? What is the problem? And it's a lot of y'all out there got a problem with that. Because in y'all delusion on y'all feel like, oh, you still dealing with her children because you still in love with her. You still want to be with her. No, it's not that. It's that he have a relationship and a bond with his stepchildren. So I'm gonna have to come back on Instagram because it's saying that it's a countdown. So a lot of y'all need to get that out of y'all heart, because at the end of the day, you want a stepdaddy for your children, but you mad because he's been a stepdaddy to somebody else's children. My ex has been in my children's life since we was 5. See, certain conversations that we have is a must, it's imperative. Nothing to do with it. And you get it because this is what we deal with every day. This everyday life, we deal with this. Now, why everybody leaving on YouTube is down to 4 people. That's what it's saying. But I understand it's Friday. So, y'all, that's what we deal with every day. And it's sad to say that we deal with this every day. And 80% of the problems start with the women. They think money is leaving their household. And so what if it is? But how can money, jealous ways, mean she hasn't moved on? Misery love company, right? So at the end of the day, why if, all right, hey, one piece, side piece, hey, you got my bill money, it's Friday, and you ain't get paid last week, but you got paid this week. So you gonna pay my bill? Because you ain't send me a cash app or nothing for my birthday. You ain't say, you told me you was gonna pay the bill. So you ain't even send half of the money for the bill. But it's all right, I still love you. But anyway, y'all, that's what we deal with every day. We deal with people that's jealous, that's envy, that say they're not jealous. Hey, one, that say, hey, black girl, that say they're not jealous. My ain't itching. That must be the money that one piece, side piece gonna send me. We playing the music tonight, one piece, side piece. But anyway, y'all, if you are like this, if you that person that feel like your husband should cut ties with his stepdaughter, stepson, you're wrong. You is wrong and out of pocket. Breaking news today, we talking about who do you think have more power in certain situations, black or white? I feel like white people have more power than black people. That's the topic for today. But anyway, if you are the woman doesn't want the stepfather to continue sharing with his stepkids. Okay, that could be true. So if you that woman out there, or you that man out there, and you don't want, all right, that part right there, and you don't want your spouse to interact with their stepkids, you the problem. Because they got some stepkids that treat their step parents better than, wait, Missy. They got stepkids that treat their step parents better than their real parents because the real parents neglects them. That ain't how I want to say it, but y'all get it. But thank you for the drink. But if I'm talking to you on here, and some of y'all that's on here is just like that, how could you be mad with a man or a woman that's still there for their stepchildren and they was there before you? But you don't even have children for the man. You got children that ain't his either. You want him to do for your kids, his stepkids by you, but you don't want him to interact with the stepkids that was before your kids. Y'all got to make it make sense. Oh, it came out right, Tony? Thank you. East side in the building. So y'all got to be the man in the mirror. Y'all got to do unto people as y'all want people to do unto y'all. If you know you got stepchildren, you got children, and you married to somebody and that's not their kids, you can't get angry if they be there for their stepkids that was there before your kids. That white people do. Y'all got to stop, because let me tell y'all a situation. All right. My daughter, my ex-husband was her stepdaddy. Right. And now that he married to somebody else, Miss Thing, Miss Thing threw a monkey wrench in there, and my daughter and her stepdad is not tight as they used to be because the new wife threw a monkey wrench in there. And I feel deep down inside, she knew exactly what she was doing. But if I could start some confusion with him and her, or say something about him and her, I could knock her out the ballpark. But girl, your children not even his children. We can't be cheeky with it. That's bad business, right? So, but we dealing with that every day. We got selfish people, but they're not being a man in the mirror. They're not sweeping in front of their own door. They want they don't want you to do have a relationship with your stepchildren, with the stepchildren before his stepchildren with you. But they want this man to do everything for their children. And that ain't even his children either. And they got some women and some men do more for their stepchildren than they do for their own children. I'm just saying, how you as a man could look out for your stepchildren and be there more for your stepchildren than you be there for your own children. It is so sad, but it's happening every day, all day. And you know why? They got some men are so weak. I ain't gonna even call them a man. I'm gonna call them a little wussy. They are so weak to they let the woman control everything about them. Ain't no woman on this God green earth should stop you from being the man that you should be. Different vibe. Hey, you should be man enough, hey Angela, to make your own decision when it come down to certain things. You got a woman in your life. I'm talking to somebody right now on this live right now. You got a woman in your life that control your every move. She tells you what to do and what not to do for your children, but you taking care of her children, keeping a roof over her children, head, and neglecting your own children. All in the name of love. So you neglecting your children and your children going without. Because you making sure y'all got lights, water, and everything that y'all need in a house with her children. But you neglecting. Some of y'all men on here behind on child support. And y'all get mad when y'all get put on child support. But why shouldn't a woman put your ass on child support when you doing more for your stepchildren than you're doing for your own children? And you gonna get mad? And you mad? You mad because you paying child support? And it ain't that much. But you not realizing that, at the end of the day, you in-house with her and her children. Yes, we is in a crazy world. You in-house with her and her children. To be honest, the children that's in-house get more than the children that's on the outside. And y'all could agree to disagree. The children that's in-house get more than the children that's on the outside. Hey, Penny. Y'all can say what y'all want, but a man that live with a woman and her children, whether that's his children or not, and he got his biological children on the outside, if he in the house with her and her children, he making sure her and her children got water, lights, food, and all that. He making sure they well established in-house. So that means on the outside, his children are getting less than what her children get. Y'all can say whatever y'all want, Sugar Hill. Y'all can say whatever y'all want. Y'all know it's true today. Y'all know it's a lot of truth today. And then they got some women don't want a man to do for their own children. And some women will go to Walmart for your children that's on the outside, and they'll go to Saks for their children that's on the inside. And some of y'all men are little wusses because y'all let this type of shit go on. Because if you I feel like if you want your child to have something, you should be man enough to make sure your child get what they need. Because if you say, well, babe, I'm gonna give my wife the money and my wife gonna go buy the clothes for my children and all, your wife gonna buy what she won't buy for your children and buy what she won't buy for her children. And somebody, no, and my wife don't do that. Yeah, and while you're around, and she gonna put up a facade in front of you and make it seem like she don't show favoritism with your children, but she do. I'm just saying. I done saw some stepchildren get way more than the biological children. And I done heard some stepmama say, I don't give a damn what he do for his children as long as he take care of mine. Uh-huh. I done heard somebody say that too. I don't care who children don't get long as they take care of mine. And they got some weak ass men out there like that. But what y'all need to realize is that at the end of the day, your children gonna be your children until you leave this earth. If you and her split up the day of tomorrow, that's her children. And if she strong enough and she is strong enough in her mind to believe that in her mind, and she got a controlling spirit, if she tell her children to cut you off, they'll cut you off too. And what about the stepchildren that tells you, you ain't my daddy, you ain't my mama, and you done did everything you could possibly do to make them feel comfortable as being a stepmother or stepdaddy? What about them? What about the one that say, you're not my daddy, you're not my mama? That part right there. So they got women like that go along to get along. And in front you, they treat your little daughter and your little son all nice, but when you leave and go to work and when you ain't home, it's a whole different story. And some of y'all got children that's scared to tell y'all they being mistreated, because you know what they feel like. Y'all gonna say, oh yeah, that child ain't nothing but mess, just like their mama, just like their daddy. Step parents, some of them find reasons in your child so they don't have to put up with your child and they bullshit. You can have the goodest child in the world, and the step parents, some step parents gonna find all kind of reason. Start up mine being nice and goes hard behind. Yeah, exactly. They got some of them in front of your face. Oh, I love children, and treat your children nice in front of you. And once you gone, it's a whole different ball game. How about that? And your stupid ass go along to get along. Anybody want a piece of this hot pickle? Mm-hmm. Y'all better stop, because y'all think nobody don't see y'all neglecting somebody's child. Mm-hmm. God see you and you, and you and you. When y'all be having a conversation with y'all friend, they ain't my child. I don't want to watch her anyway. She too womanish anyway. He too smart anyway. All he gonna do is go back and tell his mama. Well, if you ain't give him nothing to go back and tell his mama, they wouldn't have nothing to go back and tell his mama or their daddy. I'm just saying, people only do. Thank you, Eastside. People only do to us what we allow them to do. They only do what you allow them to do. Everything that's going on in the world right now, we all got to reap what we sow. So watch out and watch how y'all treat people, because you're going to get it back. Nobody's exempt from life. So if you don't like me, somebody don't like you either. How about that? Stop being a follower. Dislike me because you don't like me. Stop going and being on a bandwagon and have a reason why you don't like me, because somebody don't like your nasty ass either. How about that? How about that? you don't like his children. Why you don't like his children? But he take care of your children. He pay all the bills to keep a roof over you and your children. That's not even his children, but his children can't even come over. Because you're going to find some excuse about his children. And then who gives some of y'all the authority to tell another man, oh, you need to get a DNA on somebody else's child, when you need to get a DNA and find out who some of your baby daddies is? Who are you to make that call? Who are you to make that call to tell another man, well, she don't look like you, he don't look like you, you need to go get a DNA? Who are you to make that call? Yours might not be who you say yours for. Some of y'all women need to go lay down and just shut y'all damn mouth, because at the end of the day, y'all got to look in the mirror. Y'all passing judgment on other women when at the end of the day, girl, you don't know who all your damn sharing for either. Oh, I forgot. We know who our children be for. Technically, we all know who our children be for. Unless you just somebody that been slept with everybody. If you somebody that been around and slept with everybody, then 2 chances to 1. Oh yeah, now I remember. But when you know who your children for. You can lie to some of the people some of the time, but you can't lie to all the people all of the time. We know exactly who we slept with. And you're a damn lie if you say you don't know who you slept with, unless you was on drugs and you was out there just wilding out and you're going from man to man and you slept with 2 men and 1 or 3 men in 1 week. Yeah, that's a whole nother story. But y'all can lie to y'all damn self. Like Soulja Slim once said, if you how you feel about the situation, you heard me. That part right there. But you can feel however you want to feel. But at the end of the day, y'all know sugar from shit. Y'all be lying to y'all damn self. Y'all be trying to convince y'all damn self. And some of y'all be saying, oh, girls, he look just like lies. Or he look just like lies. Or she look just like lies. Because a lot of people say, my daughter Jasmine and Cora look just alike. My daughter and little Cora look just alike. And Cora and Jasmine don't have the same daddy. When I was so much, about 1 or 2 months pregnant, I think more than that, 2 or 3 months pregnant or whatever, that's when I was with my husband. But at the end of the day, all our children got different features. And when you look at your children, you can look at and you know exactly who your children for. I'm just saying. You could lie sometimes, but sooner or later, as the mother, you know damn well who your children from. But I want to know who gave you the right to tell a man, oh well, he might not be yours. She might not be yours. She might won't get to. Who? So all these years, he been claiming this child, and not since you came along and your delusional mind, you want him to go get a DNA for a child that he accepted his, whether it's his or not. He says his. He's been taking care of it all these years. At the end of the day, it is what it is. See, a lot of y'all women want women to be treated a certain way because you with the man, but you wouldn't want nobody to treat you the way you want them to treat another woman. Hey, Wanda. So why should you be against another woman when you're a woman your damn self? I'm just saying, this applies to a lot of y'all. Because a lot of y'all is convinced in y'all mind, I'm better than her, I'm prettier than her, I'm finer than her. And a lot of y'all in y'all mind, but not really realizing that we are all women. When a man abused one woman, that should affect all of us. Because no man shouldn't abuse no woman. Just like no woman shouldn't abuse no man. But yet and still, some of y'all women want to justify when a man abused her. Oh, well, he ain't never did it to me. He ain't never hit you physically, but he mentally abused you. And yet and still, y'all women be saying, what ain't gonna never happen to me? A man ain't gonna never do this. A man ain't gonna never cheat on me and all that kind of shit. That's what you want to believe. Or better yet, that's what you want us to believe, that you got a man. And I know so many of y'all that be on here, I know for sure without a shadow of doubt, without a shadow of doubt, I know for sure y'all man and cheated on you. But is that my business? No. But I know without a shadow of doubt, I know some women that then cheated on their man, their husband. I know them. I know them. Just like men cheat, women cheat too. Y'all don't get a pass. But the difference between us women is men. Men think they slick. But one thing about us women, we a nigga slick. See, we not going to do the shit y'all do. I don't know. The younger generation, I can't speak for them. Because they do some dumb shit. But us, if I was a cheater, he won't find out. Not at all. He won't find out. But y'all do dumb shit. Y'all put in y'all phone, y'all put, that's my partner name. Y'all put dude's name in y'all phone. Y'all put y'all phone on vibrate. Y'all hide y'all phone. Y'all lock y'all do all kind of dumb shit that get yourself away. Shit y'all do, we ain't got to do that. We could lay the phone right next to you. And at the end of the day, the phone could be next to you all day. And that don't mean we ain't cheating. But y'all do the dumbest shit. You ride in the car, you got to have your phone on vibrate. You're inside, you turn your phone completely off. All the signs is there. But us, I'm going to speak for me. A lot of us women, we have more respect for ourselves. We not going to go and sleep with somebody and be with somebody that everybody can know that we messing with them. I know I'm not. Y'all sleep with somebody, and before you know it, it then got out in the open. Somebody then saw somebody knows somebody, and now it then got back to your spouse. What y'all duck ass. But just like y'all cheat, women cheat too. But we have more dignity and more respect for ourselves. Y'all don't have a lot of respect for yourself because y'all don't care who y'all sleep with, when y'all sleep with them, and how y'all sleep with them. And the same women that y'all call a dog ass B and a slut ass and whatever y'all call, that be the ones y'all be in love with. I don't like that nasty, dirty ass girl. That's the ones y'all attracted to. Y'all attracted to the women that's nasty and dirty. You will leave a fine, beautiful, intelligent woman, a loving, caring woman, a woman that take care of that, cook and clean and do all that for a nasty, dirty ass a-hole. You would rather be with an a-hole and then gonna lie. I don't want that nasty ass girl. Nobody, I don't mess with you. Y'all call her everything but the child of God. And that's the one you constantly messing with. I'm just saying. I ain't never heard a man drag for a woman so much in my life. And the ones that they drag for like a dog is the ones that they keep going back with and mess with. So when y'all think y'all looking for somebody like Halle Berry and you looking for competition, you'll be like, well, goddamn. So that's what you was messing. So that's what you keep on messing with. What y'all got to realize is that a lot of these men, some of them don't care who they mess with, long as they got a split between their legs. They don't care. They don't care. Because some of the women that I heard, some of my exes that mess with, I'd be like, well, god damn. He don't have no type. And some of them don't. And some of them don't. Now me, myself, and I got a type. certain man I'm just not gonna mess with. Now, when I was out there in the wilderness, I promised them some little pee and get their little money and all that kind of stuff there. But they got men that lies to other men and say they slept with you. Or that used to be my girl. Or I used to go with her. I ain't never heard so many men lie and say they went with me in my life. Boy, you don't even know if I was a man or a woman back then. They got men that literally lied and said I had a child by them and told a goddamn lie. Hey, money, thank you for the cash app. But they got a lot of men and women that lies. They got women that lie. They got men that lies. It's just a whole lot of stuff that's going on in the world with a lot of people. But at the end of the day, when you become older, or older adult, you begin to realize that life is life and you can't change some things that's out of your control. Some people going to be who they are, and you got to let them be who they are. Like when I go live every day, and it is what it is, I accept it for what it is. Until sooner or later, if I keep on doing what I'm doing, keep on putting in work, it's going to pay out. Don't worry about the ones that's not here and the ones that's hiding, throwing the rock high in the eye and that's in the black in the back and all that. I'm not worrying about them no more. Because some people be, she only have little people on there and this and that. Okay, but at one time you had little people too. So I'm focusing on the people that's here right now. Because I guarantee you, the people that's here right now, I'm going to say something and I'm going to deliver. Hear the messenger and I'm going to deliver the message. I'm here to make a difference in somebody else's life. So at the end of the day, the topic for the day is, I said the topic for the day is, who you think have more power, the black or the whites? Yeah, the smaller the building, the bigger the party. The little people, that part right there. Linda, it's okay. Because you got to crawl before you walk anyway. It's a slow process. I ain't going to rush the process. And yeah, like what I was talking about earlier today, who you think have more power, the black or the white? I feel like the white people got more power than us because ain't shit changing. They started unaliving all our black people and ain't nothing being done. All we hear is talk. But when the shit gonna stop? When they gonna start paying for the shit that they doing? When we gonna start seeing them getting evicted and executed and all that stuff? When we gonna start seeing some shit? Because I done saw a lot of our black people be executed, and at the end of the day, when we gonna start seeing white people in black neighborhoods, low income? When we gonna see a project where white people live? But all y'all want to do is talk about black people. The minute I start getting money, you know who's going to try to bring me down? My black people. That's who. These people have their own organization. Most definitely my type. They have their own organization. Y'all get out of my business. You made me smile. But anyway, hey cousin. But anyway, thank you, Lord. I needed that. But we talking about the power. We talking about the power. Y'all trying to get in my business? Stay out of my business. I feel like white people got a lot of power because things ain't changed when it come down to racist. I mean, Mississippi been racist. So you mean to tell me there's been a couple of weeks now, I guess been 2 weeks. Nobody been arrested for this man, this young boy being unalive. They came up with the cell phone. They had messages deleted from the cell phone. And you mean to tell me nobody's nobody's being arrested. So why is it taking so long? Why is it taking so long for somebody to be arrested? Because they say one of the little white kids, their mother is a judge. But y'all forgetting the Mississippi burning. Y'all forgetting all the stuff that been going on with black and white. Do y'all really? Is y'all really? But here's the thing. We hear about this every day. We hear about black people getting unalive. We hear about a lot of stuff that's going on in the world with blacks and white. But at the end of the day, we got Ben Crump. Now we got Al Sharpton. And now we got Tyler Perry that's going to pay for the funeral. He paying for the young man funeral and all that. So all that's fine and dandy, right? But at the end of the day, when is it going to stop? But that don't only affect this young man and his family. When a black child come up missing or something happen to each and every one of our children, if something happened, that affect each and every one of us. But all our life, all we hear is talk. All we hear is talk. But when we gonna get justice? I mean, real justice. When we gonna stand up for one another? Because we see what's going on. But at the end of the day, we see what's going on, but we still tearing one another down as black minority people. And at the end of the day, the pit is bigger than what we could see. We on the outside looking in. But when you go in the black neighborhoods, when you go in the housing development and low income development, housing projects and all that, all you see is black people. Name me one project that you see half and half. We got all these projects. We got the Iberville, the Lafitte, the Desire, the Florida, the Melpomene, the Magnolia. We got the Fisher. We got all these housing projects. But can y'all tell me, if y'all go in any one of these projects, tell me how many black people and white people that live in a project? 80%, no, I'm going to say 90% black people live in the projects. So if 90% of black people live in a project, where do white people live? That's on government-funded program. I'm just waiting for somebody to answer the question. So where the white people live? Because white people get food stamp. White people in low income houses. White people on Section 8. And white people, some of them in trailer parks, not all of them. And white people on subsidized housing. So at the end of the day, let me tell y'all what they had. They're in Chalmette for number one. They're in Jefferson Parish, which is Metairie, Harvey, Gretna, Chalmette. They're on the outskirts. And let me tell y'all another thing, which y'all think y'all know, and y'all don't know as us black minority. All right. When you buy houses, right? When you buy houses, they stipulate that you can put your house on Section 8, but none of your relatives could move in your house under a Section 8 voucher. Black people don't know how to stick together. So you mean to tell me the rules is when you buy a house, none of your relatives can rent from you under a government-funded program. So that applied to us. But I be damned if I think in my mind that they don't have houses in their relatives' homes. Y'all know how many white people got properties and apartments and complexes and all this, and they got their relatives living in their complex and their apartments. That's a violation, but I bet you they do. I bet you they people live in their houses because they're on the outskirts. These people live in areas, gated communities, and all that. And they're on government-funded programs. Y'all think they buying these houses and all that. But let me say this, something I need to speak on. All right. In Slidell. Yeah, I'm going to put y'all out there, Slidell. I'm going to put y'all out there, Slidell. So Slidell got the subdivision. I think it's called Stonebridge. I might be wrong. Lake something, right? So I was thinking about buying me a house, and I filled out some paperwork online. So when I went to the subdivision in Slidell, it's a subdivision been there quite some time. So the subdivision is they sells their own houses. In other words, you don't have to go through a real estate agent because it's private owned subdivision. So I went there. So in my application, I was looking for a house, a ADA for people with a disability, administrative, definitely, excuse me, renting their own people. That part right there, Tony. So excuse me, y'all. So I went to the subdivision in Slidell, not knowing that I was going to that subdivision because I know a lot of Black people live in the subdivision in Slidell. And the reason why a lot of Black people live in the subdivision in Slidell is because your credit score could be 5 something and you still could be approved for their houses in Slidell. Brand new houses built from the ground up. But the flip side to that, you come up with $15,000 to $20,000, you're gonna have a house note of $2,000, $1,500, $1,600, $1,700. But the flip side to that, they told me that they had handicap houses. They don't. So that is not ADA compliant. And they told me if I was to get one of their houses built from the ground up, I would have to find a government funded program to fit the house to my standard. So you mean to tell me what you're telling me is that, but before I went there, they told me that they had houses, handicap houses. I'm gonna say this by me being in a wheelchair for 31 years, I know the difference. You're supposed to be ADA compliant. Out of all them houses they got built in Slidell, not one house is built for a person with a disability like me. Not one house. And the people, they told me they was gonna do a meeting because I told them I could give them I told them before they build any houses back there, when it come down to them wanting to build and they haven't built one yet, they should take a person like me and do a walkthrough with a person like me on an empty house. And I could tell them how the house should be built from the inside. Because not one house they brought me to was ADA compliant. Not one house they brought me to was for a person in a wheelchair like me. So I feel like that is discrimination against me because at the end of the day, now y'all don't have a house for me to buy, even if I want to buy it. So you mean to tell me if y'all building all these houses and they still building, you mean to tell me the contractor can't build a couple of houses back here that's fit for a person with a disability or a person, or y'all don't have not one ADA house? Equal opportunities for all people, where I feel discriminated against. Because, first of all, y'all showed me 2 houses that y'all thought was for a person like me. When I told them this house could never be, I talked to the young lady and she don't know better, so I don't fault her. I say this house could never be ADA at all. And I say, first of all, none of these houses I saw, I think I saw like 3 houses. None of them is fit for a person that's in a wheelchair, right? So they were supposed to get back with me, and they didn't. The young lady, I talked to her again, but it's still nothing changed when it came down to ADA. Now let me tell y'all something else. All these houses that they building up from the ground up, the material is very cheap. The rug is the worst rug that you could ever put in a house for me. It's not it's that shaggy, beige looking rug. I told them if I would have bought a house, that rug would have to go. This the cheap. I mean, they have like the standard steel stuff like that. You can get that as a package. You can get the refrigerator, the stove, the dishwasher. You can get the washer and the dryer. You can get all that stuff at Lowe's or wherever, and you get it as a package. But the countertop, the cabinets, the floors, all that stuff in there is cheap material, stuff that's gonna last for a little while. If you're a person that's hard on, like your countertop and stuff like that, and you like to cook and all that kind of stuff, 2 chances to 1, that shit gonna last for about 5 years, and then the floors and all that shit gonna buckle up. All the majority of the stuff is cheap. So at the end of the day, all these people out there, and it's like there are some people, they got beautiful houses. They're beautiful, but when you know, you know. But yeah, they discriminated against me. And I feel like at the end of the day, so y'all started building houses, but y'all not building houses for people with disability like me. So if you're looking for an ADA compliance house in Slidell in them new subdivision, you will not find one. And I just feel like it is so wrong to say that they got all these houses. They building houses every day, and none of them is ADA compliant. Not a one of them. And what people don't realize is that when you buy a house, right, and you sign, your paperwork for 30 years, this is a house that you claiming to be in for 30 years. So as you get older, you don't know if you're gonna wind up in a wheelchair or not. So you got to think about all that. That's why I say my next house would not be a 2-story house, because as you getting older, what you gonna do with the 2-story house? You ain't gonna be able to go up and down them steps. So y'all got to think about that. And I don't want a 2-story house. I want a flat house. But I want I don't want a house that's fit for a little person either. I'm not a little person. So I don't want to, I know by me being in a wheelchair 31 years, I know the ADA compliance law. I know that the counter's supposed to be a certain length. I know that you're supposed to have the shower and the shower bench. I know that the cabinet's supposed to be a certain length. I know that the zinc's supposed to be a certain length. But I do not want a closet where my clothes is hanging on the floor. No, I want to be able to reach my clothes, but I am not a little person, and I don't want my clothes hanging on the floor. Now, in certain ADA houses, they make them short for the little people. Now, I'm in a wheelchair, but I'm not a little person. But I would love for my clothes to be where I can reach them, but who wants their clothes to be dragging on the floor in the closet? Not me. Now, certain places where I live now, I didn't move 3 times in this subdivision. I was in a 3-bedroom, which was ADA compliant. They moved me out of 3-bedroom into a 2-bedroom that wasn't compliant. And they built a ramp because it didn't have a ramp, right? The ramp was too steep. So I fell down the ramp a couple of times. That's a whole nother story. So they moved me from that place into the place that I am now. And this one is ADA compliance, not all the way, if that makes sense to y'all. It's ADA compliance, but not completely ADA compliance. I'm going to say that. If ADA had to come in here, there's certain things that they will find that's not compliance with ADA. But it is what it is. But if you are a landlord or owner of a house or whatever, if you willing to invest in property and all that, you can make a lot of money if you get you a subdivision and make it ADA compliant. I got friends that's in a wheelchair. I got people that I know is in wheelchairs, and it is very hard for them to find houses that's ADA compliant. If I had my way, if I had a whole lot of money, I will have my own subdivision for people. And my houses will be ADA compliant. And my people that's out there that's in wheelchairs wouldn't have to worry about. If I was an architect, I would design houses the way it would fit for me, so it would fit for other people that's like me. So, yeah, Slidell, I feel discriminated against them in Slidell because y'all willing to lose a person of buying a $300 and some thousand house, a $250,000 house. Y'all rather let them walk out the door than to be ADA compliant and say that I'm gonna talk to my contractor, and I'm gonna have a meeting with them because they said they was gonna have a meeting with me with the contractors, and that never happened. So they could build a house, not just for me, for some other people too. I'm not saying that you gotta have everybody around there rolling around in wheelchairs. No, I'm not saying it. But if you got a brand new subdivision, you should at least have at least a couple of houses for people so it could be ADA compliant. I'm just saying. So you mean to tell me we just gonna let her walk out the door, roll out the door, and we're not gonna accommodate her even if she was buying a house. If I came there to see a house, my intentions was if it was ADA compliance, they don't know whether or not I was gonna get it or not. So I told them, y'all rather leave me roll out than accommodate me and say, well, we gonna talk to somebody. I wouldn't have left if somebody would have came to me and this was my subdivision and I know this is a sale for me. I'm gonna do everything in my power to help them to buy one of these houses. And that didn't happen. I guess I didn't matter. I'm just saying. See, that's why I said white people got more power than black people. Because we got black people that got money. We got black people that got millions of dollars. So you mean to tell me the people that got millions of dollars, trillions of dollars, black people, because they got some black rich people too. Why not build a subdivision for your people? I mean, people. Now I'm talking about it could be mixed or whatever, but I'm saying people. So you mean to tell me we got all these people that got money and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, I have a lot of ideas I just keep to myself or whatever. But if I had my way, I'd be looking out for my people because there's a lot of people out there that don't have the help that they should have. They got some of my friends that's in wheelchair. I call them my friends because we're in wheelchairs. They not on subsidized housing. They got a lot of people with disability not on Section 8. They got a lot of people that's in wheelchairs paying regular rent. When at the end of the day, I feel like people with disabilities, they should have first preference when it come down to Section A and stuff like that. Because if you getting $1,000 a month, $1,000 a month ain't nothing for you to live off. With the economy right now, $1,000 is like $100. So I feel like people with disability, veterans, people like that, I feel like them people there should be on government funded program regardless. And they still got people that's veteran that then lost their limbs, their legs, their arms. I feel like people that go to war, like people that then been in, the military and stuff like that, I feel like they should get all the help that they need. They went to war for this country, and you mean to tell me they being neglected? I feel like there are some of the people should have first preference when it comes down to certain things that they can't afford either. The people that then went to war and veterans, they should never go without. I feel like they should have preference when it comes down. No veteran should be at the red light begging nobody for a dollar. Now this man or this woman then fought for our country, and you mean to tell me they on the streets begging for a dollar when at the end of the day These people that almost, I feel like a police officer that risk their life, they're supposed to protect and serve. There's no way possible basketball, football players, all these people that play sports get all these millions of dollars, and people like firemen and polices. And I feel like if somebody putting their life on the line for us, and school teachers and all, I feel like these people deserve more money than somebody just pitching or throwing a ball. I mean, we could agree to disagree. But if we got, all right, protect and serve me, if somebody trying to harm you, I'm gonna come and protect you and put my life on the line to save your life. Why they get underpaid? Why police don't get paid for risking their life? Why the people that go out the country and go to war for us to save our country, why they get underpaid? I'm just saying. One piece, side piece. I'm just saying. Why is it like that? Why is it that you didn't you didn't went to, Iraq or whatever you went, and you didn't fought for your country, but you barely making ends meet? Why is it like that? Why is it like that? When we got all these people with billions and millions of dollars that they'll never get an opportunity to spend all their money. But at the same time, y'all still be saying that, and that they got poor people. And I ain't gonna lie, when you go to Baton Rouge and you go to different, like Houston, you go to Atlanta, different, they got people that really, really is poor. They got in certain neighborhoods, even over here, they got people that they got their little air conditions in the window. And some people got their little porches with their little screens and stuff like that. Some people really live like in the 1960s. And I be saying, is it because that's their choice? Y'all got to realize that when you go to Alabama, you go to Birmingham, Mississippi, going to Atlanta, and I mean going on the what is that? When you're going to I-10 and then you go to 85 and all that. When you're going toward Atlanta and you go to Birmingham and Meridian and all that, do y'all not realize that they still got people living like in the 60s? You see houses with fences and all that kind of stuff there. I mean, not with fences, with screen doors and all that kind of stuff there. They still have houses over here where I live down yonder, and people live like poor people. And I be saying, nah, ain't nowhere in the world. We in 2026. We still got people living like they in the 19s and the 16s and the 18s. And I'm like, that got to be the choice. This is no way possible. People still should be living like that. But of course, we got some people that stuck in their ways. Older people still stuck in their low ways. But at the end of the day, why is we still have people living like this? And I'm talking about like today. If I go down yonder, they got people that still sitting on the porch with their rocking chairs with screens like in the color purple on the porch. But we still got a lot of white people that still think they got all the power in the world. Because they show it. They have meetings on us, and at the end of the day, they think the world is theirs. They think they got all the power, and at the end of the day, let's be technical. All this going on with our people getting unalive and all that, ain't nothing being done about it. Y'all can say whatever y'all want. Y'all can believe however y'all want to believe in y'all mind. Ain't nothing getting done about it. Nothing. Everybody, you could talk, you can get this lawyer, that lawyer, this and that, but they're still moving at their own pace. And they mind saying, you Negroes could think y'all gonna handle this and this and that. And in their mind, they still saying, we still got the power. We still doing what we want to do, how we want to do it, when we want to do it, and we're gonna move how we want to move. That's exactly what they doing. They laughing in our face. They still believe that they in power. And you know why? Because our people fighting against one another and they fighting against us. And they doing their little dirt in our face like, y'all take one of mine and we going to take a couple of y'all's. I'm just saying. Now, one in jail, they trying to destroy his life. And we got one, they just unalive. The live buffering on your end, because they ain't buffering on my end. Y'all don't think they be having a meeting on black people? Y'all don't think they be sitting down saying that, yeah, we still got power. We still in charge. We still gonna do what we want to do when we want to do how we want to do. Why y'all think whenever we go in the courthouse and you look on the wall, you see one black judge on the wall? You're gonna see all these white judges on the wall, and you're gonna see one black judge on the wall. I'm just saying. Anybody ever been in the courthouse where they have all the judges? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It could be 7 judges on the wall, and they might have one black judge on the wall in the picture. That's so it won't look so bad. But at the end of the day, y'all can say whatever y'all want. We could agree to disagree. White people think they is in control because of black people still unaliving black people, and they still sitting. They unalive their people too, but they know how to throw the rock and hide their hand. They got a lot of crime that's being committed. I mean, a lot of crime that's being committed among them, but they're not showing it. But all our black people want to do is grab their phones. The black on black women be fighting each other, pulling each other hair, acting like an ass, and all that's being all on the YouTube channel and all that. And at the end of it, y'all think that shit look good. Y'all don't think they cut up. Y'all don't think they fight. Y'all don't think they get unalive. But they ain't showing how they acting among each other. But black people think that shit cool when they keep on posting black fights and all this, and a woman and a husband and all the girls fighting over the y'all all on the internet, and y'all being entertained by our own black people degrading one another. That's why I don't have a lot of likes and views on here, because I'm not exposing my own people, and I'm not on here degrading my own people, my own culture. That's why they're not on here. And I notice every time I go live, some other people go live to distract y'all, and y'all leave my live from me trying to save y'all spirit and y'all soul to go see who fighting, who beating up, who talking about, who sleeping with, who sucking on who. That's what y'all like. Y'all ain't trying to get saved. Y'all ain't trying to stick together. No matter how much we say, oh yeah, that's a shame how they unaliving our people and all that, and you unaliving your people too. Y'all won't scream when they unalive one of us, but y'all unaliving one of us. Y'all won't scream and talk about, oh yeah, the Mississippi this and racist this and this and that. Y'all, we all see it. This shit ain't just started. They've been dealing with us like they're dealing with us in our face. And they still sitting back laughing. Y'all think it's a joke? I told y'all where I live, they got a subdivision with their own store in their subdivision and their own bank. And I got lost in the subdivision over here. And it's members only. It's members only. But yeah, and still, y'all want to keep on sharing a black girl fighting a black girl and a black boy fighting, and they pimping one another. Y'all sharing how degrading we is and prejudice toward one another. And yet and still, And it ain't enough of y'all that's concerned about what they doing to our black people, because at the end of the day, you know what y'all saying? It ain't my child. Not yet. Ain't my child. Not yet. But you got to fault some of us too. It start with some of us. Because your little black son went on a trip with all these little white boys. Did you not know where he was going? Oh, all right. We gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. The parents ain't know where they was going in Mississippi. The parents probably ain't even think like that. Oh, they going to Mississippi. They going to Mississippi. And now everybody's talking about Mississippi now. But maybe the mom and the daddy didn't think about these kids going to Mississippi on a boat ride. And he the only black boy that's going on a boat ride. So why is it that we don't know? Why is it that we don't know the color of the girl that he supposedly went with? They told us, the young lady said that he didn't go with her. So they got conflicted stories. She said he wasn't left with her, and they said they left him with her. She said he wasn't left with her. So why we don't know who she is? Why we saw all of the white boys? So why we don't know who I'm most likely she a white girl. I know. How you doing, Queen? I know without a shadow of doubt it wasn't no black girl that he was with. But we don't know who she is. And so what's the big secret and why she got to be hidden? Since she said he didn't leave with her, but the boy said they left him with her. I'm just saying. But oh yeah, around the world, everybody got so much to say. This ain't nothing new. This racist shit been going. Mississippi burning, all that. Remember all the black children that was unalive in Atlanta? This shit been going on for decades. Uncle Tom's. Most definitely we got Uncle Tom's. This been going on. Black on black. They be so quick to derail another black. Every time a black, start making somebody, they'll go to jealousy. Y'all be saying that y'all want to see one another make it out the hood, and until they make it out the hood. Until they make it out the hood. I'm just saying. Don't act like some of y'all ain't the fault of some of our black people that's in jail. Don't act like some of y'all ain't go along to get along. Don't act like some of y'all ain't sell y'all soul for $1 and went against your black people because you felt like that was the right thing to do. Some of y'all lied. Some of y'all still lying. We got a lot of young black men that's in jail because somebody lied on them. I'm just saying, we got 3 young black men, which is one of my brother and his 2 friends that was in jail for 27 years for a crime that they didn't even commit. And they've been home for 2 years. They've been exonerated. So how long is it going to take for these boys to get compensated? Y'all know what the word I'm trying to say. How long is it going to take for these boys to get some type of money from being in jail for 27 years for a crime that they didn't commit, that a police, which is Lynn Davis, that unalive Kim Grove had her unalive. He's still on death row. So how long is it going to take for them, what they want these three young men to something to happen to them before they get their money, because they've been on 2 years. If they got exonerated and they realize that they didn't do it, it's been 2 years. How long is it going to be before these young boys get some of what they have took from them? They'll never, my little brother been gone 27 years for a crime he didn't commit. And guess what? Money came by the stuff that my little brother went through. My little brother stood in solitary confinement for almost half of his time. A lot of time, me and my mama then went to see my little brother, and they told us my little brother was on lockdown. So what about all the time that my little brother was on lockdown, and 23 hours a day, and only could come out 1 hour a day? All the money in the world can't bring back his mind frame. Y'all can't change. If y'all gave him $1 billion, that's not going to change his mind frame of being incarcerated in solitary confinement for 23 hours a day and only come out for an hour. Oh, they post a picture of her and her family have given a statement as the boat was riding next to each other. She is, oh, okay. So I'm just saying. So we got these 3 young men, because it's my brother and his friends, and they've been exonerated, but they still around here. They don't have no houses. They ain't got no money. And at the end of the day, they mentally destroyed. So you mean to tell me my brother been denied for Social Security? So how is it that, and who make the rules? So if, hey Queen, if a young man been exonerated, as all 3 of these young men been exonerated, and I'm gonna say this, my brother is mentally messed up in a lot of ways. My brother have good days and my brother have bad days. His friends are the same. So you mean to tell me they should be automatically approved for disability because they mentally messed up? They should automatically be approved for housing. They should be automatically granted immunity. They should be automatically, when they came out, they should have peace within everything that they want, they desire. They should have peace within themselves, even though there's something that money can't buy. Money can't make them happy. Money could do a little happiness, but money will never be able to take the fact that these young boys done 27 years for a crime that they didn't commit. And the police is still in jail on that road. The same police that unalived Kim Grove is the one that put these young boys in jail for 27 years. He put them in jail. The judge gave them a life sentence. All 3 of them had a life sentence in Angola, Louisiana State Penitentiary. So them coming out can't change the fact that my brother lost 3 siblings. My grandmother waited for my brother to come home. So he lost a grandma. He lost a lot of family members. Thank God that he was able to get out and my mom was still alive. And his dad had died a couple of months, I think like a year after he had been home. So he got an opportunity to come home to his mama and his daddy. But what about his sister and his two brothers that he lost, and his grandmother and his grandparents that he lost, and other people, other aunties and uncles that he lost. He can't get that back. All the money in the world can't give him what he lost. And these boys still haven't got no money from state yet. How long it's going to take for them to make sure these young boys is straight? You mean to tell me they got to go from pillar to post, and my brother don't have to go from pillar to post because he got a family that really, really love him. But so what they saying, if you don't have a family, you don't have nobody, even though we let y'all out, we're going to take our time so y'all can live y'all normal life. They want to live their life. If these boys, if y'all owe them money, give it to them. Why I got to take so long to get these boys some money so they can enjoy their life, the rest of their life? The majority of their life is taken. My little brother is about to be 50 years old this month. But all the other years, my little brother been in jail since he was like 17 or 18 years old. Once you have served the time exactly when worldly conviction, they should have been right, compensated. Right. That's how I feel. I feel like, so you mean to tell me it's been 2 years, and at the end of the day, these boys still gotta wait? What they waiting for? And some people be saying, oh, because New Orleans ain't got that type of money. The devil is a lie. New Orleans is a big state. Louisiana is a big state. So at the end of the day, get these boys their damn money. Shouldn't be that long. Let these boys live their life and enjoy their life. Y'all already done took the majority of their life. And no matter what nobody say, no matter how many people around them that try to make them happy and all that kind of stuff, these boys is mentally messed up. And on the people on the outside be saying how this person should do this and this person should do it. You are not that person that been in jail for 27 years, damn near all their life locked down for 24 hours a day. You got to be in each one of them boys' shoes to know what they dealt with. And one of them was underage. One of them was too young to even be in Angola State Penitentiary. He was still a juvenile. And now that they home, they just home. That's why one thing about me, I don't give up on my little brother. If my little brother need me, I'm there. Because at the end of the day, my little brother not in a wheelchair like me, but I could empathize. I can't imagine being in jail and I'm coming out of the cell only 1 hour a day. And I'm locked down for 24 hours. You got to be a strong woman with a strong mind and able to be able to deal with a man that then served 27 years. Just like me, you got to be a strong man to deal with a woman that then been through all that I've been through. You got to be able to accept my good days and my bad days. You got to be able to empathize. That's the same thing with my brother. And the same thing with my son. When my son lost his girlfriend, my son was in the car when his girlfriend got unalive. My son was in the car when his girlfriend and bullets started ricocheting on her side. And my son tried to drive her to the hospital, and she was unalive on my birthday, which was July the 3rd, just passed. So at the end of the day, me and my son could relate to something tragic happened. He lost his girlfriend on the same day of my birthday. So every July the 3rd is a bittersweet for my son. Probably put a flag on it. they will not grant them because they will have a strong case. Now they already granted them. They already granted them. It's just the time frame. I'm just saying. That's why I can empathize when it come down to my baby boy, my son. By him losing his girlfriend, his life will never be the same. That was his girlfriend. He was in a car with her. And at the end of the day, it's like the time when me and my sister played Russian roulette with the guy and he unalived himself and he died in my own. That's how I can relate to my son. The guy who died in my own was my friend. And the young lady in my line who lost her life was my son's girlfriend. And she didn't make it to the hospital. She made it to the hospital, but she was already unalive. So you got to be a very strong-minded woman to deal with my son. Knowing my son lost his girlfriend, and now his girlfriend that he with now, she got to be strong-minded to even deal with him, knowing that the girl that he had before her, he loved her. So on July the 3rd, my son don't post my picture. My son posts his girlfriend picture. Even though I'm still his mama, I can't feel no type of way. Because at the end of the day, even though I'm his mom, I'm still here. His girlfriend gone, but I can't get mad because he's still, that was his girlfriend. So on July 3rd, he posts his girlfriend. Not me. If I play games with a gun, we was young. We was young. Something strange. We was young. We ain't know no better. So at the end of the day, I like when me and my son, and we have our little differences or whatever. But my son, at the end of the day, I do know deep down inside that my son really, really loved me. But at the end of the day, when he don't want to be bothered, I don't bother him. Because he dealing with a lot of stuff mentally. And him having his new girlfriend that he with now, and her having 2 children for him, that changed his whole persona and his whole outlook on life. My son losing his girlfriend, if he didn't have another girlfriend and she didn't have the children that she had for him, my son would be to the point to where there's no return, where he don't care about, like my son was to the point to where he ain't care. But now he got his children to live for, he got his family. And that's what gives him strength. And even though his girlfriend is not here anymore, he still has a relationship with her mother. And I think that play a hell of a part too. But at the same time, I can empathize. Like when my son have his days, and I ain't gonna lie to y'all, my son, y'all think I have a testimonies. My son have testimonies just like me. Don't think because they unalive his girlfriend, they didn't come back. They done 5 years on a 20-year sentence, right? And after they done the 5 years on a 20-year sentence for unaliving somebody, which was not enough time to me. If somebody takes somebody's life, they give 20 years and then they do 5 years and come back out on the street and then they come back and try to unalive my son again. Now, mind you, the reason they try to unalive my son is over something that had nothing to do with him. Nothing to do with him. They try to unalive my son on the strength of them not liking his cousin. They ain't go after the cousin. They got mad because my son was bragging on his cousin. And that's how his girlfriend get unalive over something that had nothing to do with him, neither her. And they get 20 years and do 5 years and then come back out here with the same old shit, the same old shenanigan, and try to unalive my son again. Thank you, Cynthia. But thank God for God, grace, and His mercy, because at the end of the day, yeah, 5 years is crazy. But at the end of the day, I'm a praying mother. I pray for each and every one of my children. I pray for my family, my friends. I pray for the people I love, and I pray for some of the people that I don't even know. All the people, I'm gonna say that. I pray for everybody, even if they don't like me. He said love them anyway. But anyway, so I empathize with my son. And his girlfriend that he with now, a lot of y'all might not know it, but when they try to unalive my son again, his baby mama he with now got grazed in the head, and they pew at my son, and it was over 50 shots. And my grandbaby, the one that y'all see, and y'all say that's my little twin, her mother was pregnant with her when she got grazed in the head. So my little grandbaby is a miracle baby, because my grandbaby's mother went in labor early, being grazed in the head. So it wasn't nothing but the grace of God to allow my daughter-in-law to still be here with my grandbaby. That little red baby that looked just like me, the enemy tried to take that baby. God allowed her to go in labor after she just had been grazed in the head, be in the hospital, and she had a baby early. So my little grandbaby was born before her time. She was supposed to have my grandbaby in July. Instead of in July, she had her earlier than what she was supposed to. So just imagine that, losing your first girl, and then the people that unalive your first girl done 5 years on a 20-year sentence, and then come back out here and try to finish you off. And then after they try to finish you off, they almost unalive your second girlfriend. I'm just saying. But I serve a good God. I serve a good God. And God said, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. So at the end of the day, they tried to harm my son several times. And it was a time where other people was, pum when they tried to unalive my son. And they had females coming all on the line, all on the, social media, talking about, dragging for my son and saying all kind of stuff about my son or whatever. But I was saying that people say stuff about people, but at the end of the day, what they don't know is my son wasn't out there looking for trouble. He didn't go out there, it's like he living his life. He went on his life with his girlfriend or whatever. And then you mean to tell me they come back out with the same shit and he not supposed to defend himself? Y'all got us messed up. If you think that somebody gonna come out here and keep on poking and poking and poking and poking, and y'all think that me as his mother, his father, his family, we gonna let that ride, knowing that he ain't bother nobody. But I'd be damned if somebody bring ass, you got to bring ass to get ass. And if somebody bring ass, you going to defend yourself. I don't care what nobody else say, how nobody else feel. If somebody come at him, and Lord in heaven knows, I don't want nobody to take nobody's life. But if somebody come at you, you better stand your ground. And that's going to marry the little lamb, the little lamb, the little lamb, and the little lamb. How we live in a world where we got people that's in the world that I done saw people, unalive people, and they get a little. How can you get 20, 30 years for unaliving somebody? You still got your life. you still have an opportunity to come back out here to unalive somebody else. I feel like if you unalive somebody and they got the evidence to prove that you unalive somebody, you should get life without parole, and you should never come on or see the streets again, and never again in life. That's how I feel. But the system don't feel like that. See, they got some people feel like if somebody unalive somebody, they deserve a second chance. You can't bring that person back. If it wasn't self-defense, if you ain't have to defend yourself from somebody trying to unalive you, you can't bring that person back. Even if you say you sorry, you still can't bring them back. Some people premeditated and had time to think about what they did before they did it. And now you go to court and you take a plea deal. So if they offer you a plea deal for unaliving somebody and you take it, that means that's the easy way out to me. I feel like it shouldn't be no plea deal unless you ain't got enough evidence and you say, well, we ain't got enough evidence to convict them. So if they take a plea deal 20 years later, yeah, if you don't have enough evidence. But if you got evidence and you know for sure that they unalive this person, I feel like they should get life and stay in jail without the possible parole. Nobody that take a life, to me, deserve another life in without going to jail. Let me say that. I feel like if you take somebody's life, you deserve to have life in prison the rest of your life. How about that? But y'all do know when it comes down to white people, if you kill somebody white, they gonna execute you. That's how they feel like. They're gonna execute you. So why is it that black on black unalive another black person and then they let them out so they can unalive another black person? You get less time for unaliving a person than robbing a bank, than fentanyl. I just was listening the other day or looking on social media. A guy got life in Covington for fentanyl. So you get a life sentence for fentanyl, which we do know fentanyl is unaliving people. But you can kill one of your, let me say, you can unalive one of your sister or brother and you get a slap on the wrist. Because if you unalive somebody and you get 20, 30 years, that's a slap on the wrist to me. I feel like if you unalive somebody, you don't need to come back out here and have your freedom should be stripped from you if you unalive somebody. You don't deserve to be back on in society. Because if you unalive somebody before, most likely you're going to do it again if it's unjustifiable. But quite natural, we know the system sucks. And we got a lot of corruption going on. A lot of people see it, and it ain't going to stop. We got a lot of corruption going on in New Orleans, been going on. They've been stealing the money. All the mayors, they went to jail. They've been indicted. They've been stealing money for decades. This ain't nothing new. This is new to the new generation, but they've been stealing money, been going to jail, been getting indicted. All that shit been going on. New Orleans is very corrupted, without a shadow of doubt. So at the end of the day, where is all the white people that commit murders, that unalive people? Because they got a lot of them in jail too. So they get a slap on their wrist too. Hey, Pat, they get a slap on their wrist. But if we don't see life for what it is and stop unaliving one another and fighting against one another, it ain't gonna never change. It ain't gonna never change. So you mean to tell me our ancestors, ancestors that's not here anymore, whatever, they fought for us, for civil rights. They fought for us to get on the bus and sit wherever we want. And this the thanks they get? Black on black, unaliving one another. When they was unaliving us, beating us, whipping us, hanging us, and they still doing it. Hey, one, they still doing it. Ain't nothing changed. They still doing it. You know why they still got the ups on us? Because we prejudice toward one another. Nobody, black people don't want to see one another have. You know why? They don't want you to have more than them. A lot of black people I see, they got their picks and choose who they jump on the bandwagon with. If you beneath them, they brags and boast and brag and talk about, oh, you the little people. And there's certain people that they think, let me tell you, a lot of y'all on the internet, y'all think y'all in control because y'all got a little power on the internet. But I'm going to say this and I'm going to say it again. If it's us versus them, who y'all think going to win? Because a lot of y'all that got all this, Jerry Springer shit going on y'all pages and all that shit there. A lot of y'all degrading people. A lot of y'all, messing up people's relationship, their marriage and all that kind of stuff. Y'all exposing people and all that. God is not the author of confusion. I just needed to tell y'all that. So when some of y'all bloggers and some of y'all content creators be talking about God and all that, and y'all still be start messing confusion on y'all platforms, I'm going to say it loud for the people in the back. God is not the author of confusion. So you know what that means? A lot of y'all selling y'all soul to the devil because that's what he wants y'all to do. Yeah, popularity bandwagon. But I thank God that I ain't selling my soul to none of y'all. I ain't going along and get along with nobody. I done had enough of y'all shit and y'all shenanigans because I didn't watch the internet enough to see how this game goes. And I sit back and I just look at some of y'all. And God told me to fall back on some of that messy shit that y'all got going on. But that's the way of y'all making y'all money. And I ain't never been no hater, but I don't want to be like none of y'all. That part right there, Patty. I ain't trying to be like nobody on none of these platforms. And nobody don't define me. How about that? About that. So let me say this. I be looking at a lot of stuff on the internet and stuff like that. And y'all got your judgmental day or whatever where y'all judge this platform, that platform, who got the best live, who got the best podcast, who got the best this. Well, out of all y'all platforms, when y'all do your little award bounce, who got the best podcast and all that kind of shit there, is y'all saving souls? I'm asking. And I ain't asking for a friend. Out of all these platforms y'all got, all y'all got content creators, all y'all got all these popular platforms and podcasts and all that, is y'all saving people's souls? I'm asking, and I'm not asking for a friend. Is y'all delivering message by telling them they need to get their life right? Nah, y'all not saving nobody's soul because that's not going to make y'all money. Why would y'all save souls when that's not what's selling? But only what you do for Christ gonna last. Only what you do for Christ gonna last. So you know what? I can answer that question for y'all. Y'all not saving souls because that ain't what the people want here. Y'all getting the people what they want. The people want mess and confusion. The people want to talk about people. The people want to talk about who's sleeping with who got HIV, who got DIEEI, who got all of whatever. Y'all getting the people what they want. They don't want nothing about over there by AMAs. They don't. Nobody want to hear nothing about no Jehovah. Nobody want to hear nothing about no God. Nobody want to hear that. Nobody want to try to get saved. Nobody ain't trying. We want to hear who beating up who fighting who divorcing who sleeping with who Who messing with who? What man messing with what man? What girl messing with what? That's what we want. We don't want to hear what Ann May is talking about. And they don't. But sooner than later, they coming. They might not come today. They might not come tomorrow. But they coming. Yeah. I be saying, I said, oh, so they got the best podcast coming out. I ain't in that number. I know damn well I'm not in the number with the best podcast. They got the best podcast. I just started out so quite natural. I'm the little people, so I'm not in that number in their eyes. Okay. They got the best Instagram, the best Facebook, the best TikTok. They got the best social media people, period. And I ain't looking to be in that number. But guess what? And I ain't bragging. I'm one of the best ones in Jehovah's eyes. I'm just saying. In Jehovah's eyes, I guarantee you, out of all these podcasts, all these social media channels, Ann May's been touching lives. Even behind the scenes. Even the pickaboos, Ann May's been touching them. Ann May's been hitting home runs. Because somebody been going through, and Ann May's been telling them how to come out. And Ann May's been getting them deliverance. See what I'm saying? Ann May's saying what they need to hear. So in God's eyes, Ann May's in the number one spot in his eyes. See, I'm not competing with the worldly people. See, I was once in the world, of the world. And now I'm in the world. I'm not of the world. So I'm not competing with the world. I'm just saying. They don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that. They go to falling off. But I mean, like, I be sitting back, I be saying, well, damn. They got all this going on. And don't ask God why you're not a part of it. He said, I'm going to separate you, and I want you to come from among them, because they're on the outside looking in. They think they got it made in the shade. You can't tell all these people, these podcasts, that they ain't the number one podcast. I'm just saying, a lot of people think they the number ones. But I thank God that I ain't in none of them category, and I ain't included. And I want to thank you. They do what they do, and I'm going to do what I do over here. And I ain't comparing myself to the people in the world, because I am not of the world. I'm good over here. There's no comparison. See, you can't compare me to the other podcasts. I am totally different. I come up with a different strategy every day. A different topic every day. I don't care if it's the little people or not. I bet you every day I touch a soul. Without a shadow of doubt. I know every day I touch somebody's life. Every day. Except when I be off on Saturdays and Sundays. So in my eyes, I'm number one over here. Now, whatever y'all do over there in the wilderness, y'all do y'all thing, and Ann May's going to do her thing. Ann May's in the category with the people that's in the category with her. That's why when people do what they do, I don't get offended. When they be cutting me off when I'm on live and they jump on live, then the people go over there. When nobody want here. When I be on live, I know other people jump on live so they could grab the people that's on my live. Sure. They grab them and they run over there. Because you know why? They of the world. For now. They of the world for now. But only what you do for Christ gonna last. So go ahead over there. But you be back. They be back. Jehovah wouldn't be who he say he is if he don't show the wicked that he's in control. Because the wicked in their mind, they got this shit on lock. And the devil is a lie. See, to the younger generation, they like name brand and material things. They like the same things I used to like when I was young. So right now, they blindsided. They blindsided. So they like what they like because they're young. So they're going along to get along. Even if it's ugly and it costs $1,200, $200, $2,000, they're going to like it because that defines them. They blindsided with immaterial things. So they got somebody like me that been there, done that. And I could tell them where they headed and they don't want to know where they headed. But when they get there and bump their head, they're going to come running back over here. Like I said, this summer, they coming. They coming. I guarantee you, they coming. So go ahead on and do what y'all do and thinking that's of God. Go ahead on. I ain't even mad. But I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing over here with the people that I got over here. I'm going to keep on entertaining my people over here and letting them know what Jehovah said. Since we the little people over here. But what he said, the last should be first and the first should be last. So go ahead on and let us be last over here. Go ahead on. We saving ours, so I done made it in me. Without a shadow of doubt. I know I made it in with my flaws and all that being imperfect. I know I done made it in. All I try to do is get some of y'all to make it in. But right now, y'all worrying about today and y'all not worrying about tomorrow. But I guarantee you, my people that's following me on my platform right now, I guarantee you, they might not tell it to me. I got a lot of people that change their persona, change their life, and to look at life totally different from the way they used to look at it. So, y'all, the topic for the day, we talking about who y'all think got more power, the white or the black. And I'm going to give y'all my opinion again. White people got more power than us right now. Whether y'all like it or not, they showing us they got more power than us. Because if they didn't have more power than us, that little young boy that was sent to jail for 35 years, he would have got an appeal and he would have been out of jail on the appeal bond. And that young man that just was unalive in Mississippi, some people have handcuffs on. All of them will be charged until everybody will be interrogated until the truth come out. Why they not being interrogated until the truth come out? Because you know what? They're going to get all of them, round them all up together. And all of them going to have their little say-so. So they could come up with a strategy. And all of them going to be saying the same, singing the same. All of them trying to build a little case on what they going to say. They rehearsing for that time come. They should have got interrogated the first time they came back without that young black boy, and they came back with a cell phone. Everybody should have got interrogated that night, not by the people that's from Mississippi where they live either. They should have had internals affairs and detectives from everywhere, not from Mississippi, and all of them should have been interrogated. So y'all, happy Friday. It's almost 10 o'clock. I love y'all. And I'll give y'all a short video on Saturday and Sunday. Y'all be blessed. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I love y'all. I might play the music when I get off here, but I love y'all. Y'all be blessed. Good night, Monique. And 80% of the problems start with the women. They think money is